Joe Pathan, indeed. What a dominant performance.
I was a little hesitant in the mid innings because I said,
why? Both you and Saran.
Because we've seen 260 being not defended by the same bowling lineup. But I think, the key difference between that game and this game now that we're seeing, wickets being taken and lots of them.
And KL Rahul saying, I don't know, I may not be reading the pitch right. Damn well he didn't read the pitch right. He won the toss, he should have batted. And this was right up LSG's alley of defending.
I don't think it mattered really if they batted or bowled because the pitch didn't really change. There were runs in the pitch for sure. The only difference is that KKR's bowlers got plenty of wickets. And of course, if you're talking about blaming KL Rahul, then you have to blame him for the way he batted. 25 of 20 on a flat track. That was not doing all that much. Sorry, unforgivable.
KL doing KL things. I mean, that's why he is out of the T20 setup for a reason. And double dhamaka for both of you KKR fans, because not only have you thrashed LSG, you are on top of the table.
Saranj, what's that feeling like?
How's the Josh?
Josh is high. I'm not able to express it. The point is, as Shay said, twice in this season we have 262 being chased. That one score we against RR Butler with a brilliant century. So we were that's why we were nervous, because until it's not over, until it's over. It's a quite convincing win, a big huge margin, 98 runs, and we're top of the table. But we are taking one game at a time. Win is good, we are happy, and obviously this target in the mid innings we were talking about, 235 is too much to to chase and everything, and. I'm just not able to express it, but I'm happy.
I think twice now today we've seen both chasing teams botch it up.
Yes.
We've not seen.
I think LSG weren't in the game.
Exactly, LSG weren't quite in the game as much as you expected the earlier hosts on the day, to be in the game, rather winning that match. But you expected a better fight. If you were saying that a 98-run victory or a 98-run loss for LSG. Is a light sort of a loss for LSG? No, boss. You had more. This week had the victory margin. Had it been down to, let's say, and rather, given the pitch and the fact that it didn't change, I think it should have been down to about 18 runs or so.
And look at, if you want to see how bad this loss rather has hampered them. Right now, they have a worse net run rate in the tournament than Mumbai Indians, who are the last team on the table, which tells you everything you need to know.
Two teams that are worse than you are DC and
GT.
Gujarat Titans.
Exactly.
Even GT.
And GTs is because theirs is horrific. I mean, they're practically polar opposites of KKR in that regard. That KKR is positively good and theirs is positively bad. So actually, even for LSG, what this has done now in essence is meaning that you're tied in a shootout for maybe third, fourth place at best, and now their game against Sunrisers, which is I think LSG's next game, suddenly assumes a lot of significance because again, even for Sunrisers, they're taking on MI next. If they
can,
No,
they can't be playing tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
No, it's tomorrow.
They're playing tomorrow.
MISRH is tomorrow.
MISRH.
The Wankhede.
Yeah, not the LSG.
No. MISRH is tomorrow, and if SRH somehow end up losing that, which to be fair, I mean, I've seen teams at the bottom of the table always have that inkling of hum bhi doob rahe sanam, tumhe bhi le doobenge. So they could have that sort of a thing, and if somehow SRH end up losing that, then boss, the shootout is between one of these two teams. A lot of people were saying that LSG and SRH team sure shot favorites. Now that suddenly Chennai Super Kings are back in the mix, people are nervous. Not only because of the fact that they have a very good net run rate. In fact, their net run rate is better than RR's right now. But the fact is that CSK, when the going gets tough, they are a clutch team. Now people are thinking, are you only playing for one spot? And this is worrisome because again, for SRH as well, if they somehow end up losing, then it's a straight shootout. If SRH win, then LSG are in a world of trouble.
And then Delhi might have a chance. Again, we were talking about many things.
Delhi will have a chance of putting pressure, I would say, then on LSG and SRH, because remember, Delhi would then have played another game. They would have played an extra game by Tuesday. I'm saying even if you do assume that Delhi win that match, so that takes them to 12 points, and I'm guessing if the margin of victory is also such, maybe they can get to, no, I don't quite think they can get to
16.
They may not be able to get to the fourth position also, because it's a negative net run rate that you
now I'll need a couple of big wins.
I'll tell you what is going to happen.
But what it does is, because net run rate is secondary, first you're looking at the points. If Delhi are to win that game on Tuesday against Rajasthan Royals, which is going to be another task for the Delhi Capitals, what it does is then it puts added pressure on the Sunrisers Hyderabad and Lucknow Super Giants to be winning the remaining
And
matches.
Chennai Super Kings.
And
And Chennai
from
Super
the bottom
Kings.
5 teams who are placed in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th and 10th, only Delhi can reach up to 16.
Yeah.
With the amount of three games left.
So
all
that's the
others can reach maximum 14, and Mumbai only can reach 12.
So Mumbai actually mathematically are as good as out. Once
Yeah.
any of those teams, let's say, suppose for instance CSK win their game against GT, if they're on 14, Sunrisers win their game against MI, they're on 14. MI are done.
Yeah,
Then
MI
that
are
E
done.
comes.
Yeah, E will come. Now, this result has meant that 3 to 7 all have a chance. CSK are on 12 points. They have done what they need to do. If they win against GT, then yes, they have sealed their qualification.
I would say 3
almost.
to 8 because again, see, Punjab Kings are in the same situation as the Royal Challengers.
Fine.
Because
Yeah, 3 to 8. Okay. Now,
GT I am writing off only because of that horrible
Punjab and
net run.
Bangalore can reach only till 14.
Yeah.
They can reach up to 14 and
now one of LSG and SRH will definitely get to 14.
true.
Because they play each other. Chennai, if they win, then E will come next to Mumbai Indians and even to a Gujarat Titans because they will have played one more game if Chennai beat GT.
Correct.
So E is done for both Gujarat and Mumbai Indians. Now RCB, what they need to do, because most RCB fans will know what this happens to the points table. Okay, Chennai don't win against GT and RR. Okay, RCB they will beat. If RCB beat Chennai, it's there. Okay, they'll get to 10. Delhi should just win one game, and that should be against LSG.
Yes, in fact, both Delhi and CSK, they cannot have them, either of those teams win more than one match now.
Yes.
CSK, by the way, have already won one match today. They cannot afford to have, from an RCB perspective, I'm saying they cannot afford to have CSK win even one more match.
Yeah.
Because remember, they're at 12, they get to 14. Now, what's the maximum that RCB can get to?
Even
That's
14.
also 14.
Yeah.
So again, one more win and it's out. So they can't afford to have CSK win any more games because
Yeah.
then it will boil down to net run rate.
And I think the one team that will dent their prospects is GT because GT are in woeful form at this point in time. Sunrisers and Lucknow. Now even Sunrisers.
Sunrisers would be looking for a clear win tomorrow. Given that the form that Mumbai are in, Sunrisers might be looking to win and consolidate their points and make their position safe with 14.
Yeah.
But because the top this table is wide open, top two teams are clear by 4 points.
Yes.
In fact, nobody's touching them.
There could be movement tomorrow as well. If SRH win tomorrow, they go 3, CSK come to 4.
Yeah.
And they will have a 2-point advantage over CSK. So by the way,
Yes.
CSK, it's not hunky dory for them as well.
No. See, if they win against GT and if SRH beat MI, then your top 4 is all but crystallized at this point because LSG's next games, if SRH and LSG, then if LSG beat SRH, oh boy, then the race for the 4th spot hots up.
It's getting interesting.
It's getting interesting.
I think the real interest comes on Tuesday if Delhi are to win against RR. I think it really spices things up.
Yes, because then Delhi will be the next team to go for it. And if you freeze this points table after the end of the league stages, you are getting a repeat of 2018. SRH.
No, we're back.
Okay,
It's a
so
technical glitch.
I think there was a blackout.
Blackout,
Yeah, it was a blackout, and I think we are back on. We'll have to wait because
You can check that. My phone's not here. Can someone check?
Yeah, we're checking. This is live feed. We're back to normal now.
Okay, we are back to normal.
Please, can you let us know in the comment section? Are we audible?
Go to that. Yeah, go to that. So that's why maybe it
There was a
should
glitch.
be live at this point.
Pawan, just click. Haan.
Yeah.
We're back.
Okay, so I think we are back on track. I don't know what is the issue that's happened. Sorry for that. Technical issues.
Glitches.
Technical
Nobody
glitches.
technical
Oh,
over there.
please, yaar. Why does it have to happen on an LSG game? I just don't understand.
When has it happened previously?
So you remember we did up, I think it was an LSG PBKS game if I'm not mistaken. You remember there was a continuous, we did from the breakout area.
Yes. And thanks Asaduz Azman
Raj
and Raj Das
saying
Gupta.
now
Yes,
okay, boys.
and Naman. We're back.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
Thousand apologies.
Technical issues just kind of tend to happen
Okay.
sometimes. Well beyond our reach. Let's get back to our discussion. We were having a rather heated one, let's say, on let's say what the table will look like. And really, I think this particular week, now don't forget, there's 2 weeks of group stage action left after today, because 19th of April, or 19th of May, my bad, is when the last group game will be. It'll be against, incidentally, the current table toppers, KKR and RR.
At Barsapara.
Yes, so that is this thing, but this particular week I think will really help you figure out who exactly is going to be placed where in the table, because now see, KKR and RR are kind of clear as things stand after this particular game week. With 2 weeks to go, they've got a 4-point advantage. Now it really is down to the fight for 2 spots. Those can be any 2 spots, because one of KKR, RR, I'm not saying it will happen, but there's always a chance you lose a couple of games, you may slip down, but qualification is all but sealed for them at this point. For the next 2 spots now is what the battle seems to be heating up. And again, you've got from 3 to 8 really. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 teams fighting it out, duking it out for 2 spots. And I think this week will really be the movers and shakers week.
Yeah. See, if RR beat DC, they'll have the first team with the Q.
Yeah.
They'll qualify. 18 points, you are definitely making qualification.
In fact, not just definitely making qualification, you're all but guaranteed a top 2 spot then.
True.
Yeah.
With 18.
If RR beat DC, then if KKR, they're next, they now have a 5-day break.
We are again playing Saturday.
Mumbai
Yes,
Indians.
Mumbai
Indians.
Your last
At
home
home.
game.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 more games against GT and RR. Boy, you're raking up air miles, because from Eden, you'll go to Ahmedabad, you'll go to Barsapara, then again to Ahmedabad, because it's top 2. You'll be playing the qualifier and the eliminator in Ahmedabad, and then you'll be heading to Chepauk.
We will not be playing the eliminator, by the way.
Yeah, you won't
the
be playing the eliminator,
Qualifier
yes.
1 and then the final at Chepauk.
Yeah, by the way, okay, now after this, since KKR are all but assured of a qualification, serious question, no jinxing, no nothing of that side. Are KKR champion material in IPL 2024?
Well, see, they always have this tendency with KKR is that for the last 2 years, there's been one thing which is consistent. You had a wobble in the middle run of the games. This time around, the good thing was they had good results to fall back on in the early days. Really, the only big loss you had, only proper loss you had, was against CSK.
And PBKs
came later. That came in the middle. That came during the slump. But aside from that, because you lost that game to CSK, you were never panicked. You lost the game to PBKS, you were never panicked. You lost another game. I'm trying to figure which game was it that you lost. I'm forgetting.
Wait.
You lost 3. RR and Punjab.
I think because of being surrounded by you guys, for whatever little that I understand happening amongst the KKR fans and the franchise, I think that came across those couple of losses came across a bit of a sucker punch. Especially the one against RR, I think that is the one that.
See, there were 3 games where I would crystallize the slump. 3 games. What are those 3 games? They were the loss to RR.
Those are your 3 defeats only.
No, not just CSK was not
Chennai was
slump.
one-sided defeat.
Chennai
That
was
was a
one-sided
proper
and because
defeat.
of pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
RR, I'm telling you, it's RR the loss.
Yeah, and
Then the win,
PBKs
the win against RCB.
by 1 run.
That was also a bad, was a good result, sure. But you very nearly lost the game. And after that, the win against PBKs kind of woke the franchise up, and you're like, listen, boss, it's in your hands, but you can't be losing games like this. Now they've suddenly picked up and picked up at the right time. 3 wins on the trot you've gotten. You beat DC. You have now beaten MI in what was a very good game. You defended well, and you've defended well against LSG too.
You've done a double against LSG this.
Yes, the first time ever that
It's
we done it.
Why I think KKR as the tournaments progress, and I didn't have them in my top 4 because yes, there was promise from a Vaibhav and a Harshit last year, but for domestic talent to be replicating the same performance the next year, I had my doubts about that. But as the tournaments progress, I think the Indian talent has really stepped up. Look how good Ramandeep's come. Look how good the pace bowling looks. The foreign players, the Phil Salt after that move from Delhi. Who knew he'd be having this kind of a season here at KKR?
Remember, he went unsold in the auction.
I think even the KKR management before the season didn't know that Phil Salt will be playing.
Exactly.
Because those practice matches, you remember, where Phil Salt blasted some runs. That's why he's given the first choice opener there ahead of Rahman or Gurbaz. Otherwise, we will be discussing that who will open with Gurbaz now. Will it be Narine will be back because
or will they go with Venkatesh?
But there was no talks of Phil Salt. But those two practice matches pre-season, he blasted some quick runs, 75.
The one thing, by the way, that's also stayed consistent that we saw in the practice match was Rinku Singh smashing sixes to a Stark, which gave you an idea of what you were exactly getting into. But yes, there's been a good comeback of sorts in the last couple of games from Stark as well. But coming back to KKR, looking at, if I was to just hold a microscope and look at it closely, those nature of wins, of course I remember those two Delhi wins very, very well. Very clinical, but there have been a series of clinical wins that KKR have seen.
2 Delhi games, RCB both games,
Mumbai,
one game,
Mumbai the other day.
LSG. That's 5 wins I've collected just there.
Exactly.
Hyderabad, that close, one of the close encounters early season.
It's the nature of these wins. You look at some of the other teams, they've huffed and puffed their way somehow. They've scraped through. That's not been the case with KKR. When they won big.
2 exceptions, SRH and RCB.
And those hiccups will be there.
Of course.
We've not seen any side have an unbeaten run to reach the playoffs. We've not seen that, and it may not, given the format that it is, the IPL, I don't think that's happening for a few seasons to come as well. But from what I've seen, yes, I would say 6 weeks of IPL now, and I think you've seen enough. There are those credentials. You've put together a team, and KKR are, to answer your question, Siddharth, champion material.
I mean, look, when we did our predictions, and I remember a lot of people were telling me, Shane, how is it that you of all people didn't pick KKR in your thing? I said, listen, I'm being practical. 2 years, I went with the fan in me and I said that they're going to make it. They missed out narrowly in both years, and that's what I expected this year as well, because again, you're going into the final year of the 3-year contracts. Your squad is pretty much crystallized. Really, the only major change you made as far as the auction was concerned was bringing a Stark. Salt came in much later, and that was a replacement for Jason Roy. Correct. So you didn't really have, again, the nucleus of the side was more or less the same, and I liked that because there were younger players there as well. You knew Vaibhav had, shown flashes of brilliance. You knew that
Rana as well.
Harshit came good this season.
Yeah, even last season.
Ramandeep stepping up with the team. That's why without a Nitish Rana, the 11 was not named before this season. But now in this season, he was, I'm not, with all due respect to him, but he was not needed. The players, younger players, young Krish Raghuvanshi smashing the half century in his first match, playing at number 3.
Also, the other thing which has really helped and is not getting talked about enough is how much your 2 big foreign stars have stepped up. Narine with bat and ball has been marvelous. Same with the Ray Ross. Today, the game could have run away from you. Look at the wickets that Russell got, by the way.
Wickets on his first ball of the spell. There's something to...
He's gotten rid of both Marcus Stoinis and Nicholas Pooran. The 2 players who I was thinking are the only ones who can help LSG maybe run away with the game. He gets both of them out, and that tells you everything you need to know about the kind of impact, because these guys are like, okay, listen, the team needs us at this point. We need to step up, and that is also what's helped, because again, last 2 years, I think, last year I remember Narine had such a poor season with the ball that there were many this season questioning whether he should even be a guaranteed starter. He's answered those critics with aplomb, because not only has he stepped up with the ball, his batting has been phenomenal as well. Top 5 really he is in pretty much both of the
not only
standings.
picking wickets, being economical as ever. Today economy was 5.5. Those choking 4 overs.
16. Lucknow were playing a T16, and someone came home, that rejuvenated the entire team. Someone came home. And I'll add on to that, okay? Not just your overseas guys. I mean, the game changer in the Mumbai Indians match was Venkatesh Iyer and Andre Russell.
And Manish
Pandey. When he had an impact, he got that impact. Narine performing, Ray Russ performing, Salt performing,
Stark firing.
4 for 33. Today also, he got a good wicket, by the way.
He got a pretty crucial wicket at that point in time.
And Ray Russ is making a habit of, by the way, taking big wickets. He's not just, cleaning up the tail.
Against RCB, he removed both of them in a single over.
Will Jackson, Rajat Patidar.
And troubled Virat Kohli. Virat was not able to read his cutters.
I remember.
At Chinnaswamy.
Yes, at the Chinnaswamy.
And also in the game against MI, got Suryakumar Yadav when he was looking dangerous. Scoop.
Like, yeah.
By the way, it's Ashwin-Narine who's been named man of the match. No
Shock
surprise.
horror.
He should be 81.
81 runs, 1 of 22. Can you do anything else?
Walk on water. That's just
The only thing this man can't do at times is take athletic catches, but I'll give him that if you're giving me runs and wickets in every single game. Phenomenal.
You're talking about the Kolkata's journey. The one thing that has remained constant is their openers performing. We won 4 games on the trot. It was a table toppers clash against RR. We lost that. Then again, we were on the winning streak of 3 matches. So those 3 losses came in between of 3-4 wins. So when there was no panic in the squad, the openers were always performing. Also, the quality of win has been such that if we are chasing, if we are defending, we've been clinical throughout in the games we have won. If we are put into bat first, we always say, in one KKR is chasing ground. We should have been bowling. Not today as well. We should have been bowling. But now these bowlers have shown you we can defend. 235 is a big match target, but we have defended that LSG 156.
in the first game. Yeah.
That you chase. See, you defended 207 odd against
208,
SRH, 208 against SRH. You defended very close against RCB at home.
Yeah.
You defended well against MI. Now defended against LSG. That means of your 8 wins, 4 have been good defenses.
It's an even spread.
So there is no one-dimensional. You defended against Delhi actually. So it's 5 defenses.
Yeah.
You can chase. You can defend. What else you need from a team?
You don't need. So see,
Delhi, you were defending 270.
Doesn't matter. We still defended.
We conceded 262 as well. So
see, this KKR team, unlike I may say 2014 was a very dominant KKR side.
Yeah, I think that was the most dominant KKR side I remember.
Because you were the first double on MI.
Yes.
That peak MI at that
I think
time.
Lucknow's home run's done.
Yeah, it's done.
They'll be on the road, and that's what I was looking at KL Rahul's comments. He says that yes, it's been a good time playing in front of home fans, and now they'll be on the road in the last stretch of the league games.
Yes.
Any guesses, gents? Which was that one KKR player he quoted the most?
Sunil-Narine?
Of course.
Of course. But I'll say this KKR team is the dominant side was 2014. Here in 2024, barring 1 loss, the other 2 losses have actually come in freakish circumstances. I mean, no one expected 6 overs, 96 to be chased down by a Joss Butler.
And no one expected 260 odd to be chased.
No one. I mean, in our wildest dreams, who will we say, okay, barring some people upstairs, whom I am now calling Bhagwan, he said 11 overs, PBKS is making 150. Boss, it came true.
That day even Manoj Bhai said the runs are somewhat less. I said it's 262 by the way, 20 overs. They're not less. He said no, 20 runs not. You are 20 runs not.
How could people get that vibe? I just don't understand. So, this team...
And that to Punjab, they are all out of all teams who are not going.
Now you see Punjab are reverting to type.
Yeah, not
doing
good, not performing so well in the season. They've chased 262 with around 16 balls to spare.
No, about 9 balls.
9 balls. 9 balls to spare.
But 262.
You were seeing the record being broken there.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And it's the same side 10 days later, 15 days later. I think it's been 2 weeks.
Not
today, exactly. This had to be a game that had to be 2 points in the pocket.
Actually, Siddharth, I'll disagree with you. All 3 of our losses came in freakish circumstances because even the CSK was because you remember how the pitch played a typical CSK wicket. Oh, how is it a typical CSK wicket? Typical CSK wickets, if you're talking about Chepauk, would generally be consistent throughout. In the second half, that was playing like a dream pitch.
Although, see, but then they also huffed and puffed their
But I remember,
18 or 19 overs.
I remember we made that observation.
18 overs, yeah, that's hardly huffed and puffed.
Still.
Hardly huffed and puffed. You only lost 3 wickets. That's dominant.
Yeah.
It is, but then see, you are undone by the pitch there. You were undone by a spell of Jadeja.
You were undone by the pitch. Why I'm saying is because the pitch totally changed complexion.
It was the 3rd match, I remember, at Chepauk. First 2 matches, you'd seen again high scores. You'd seen, I think, a game around 180. Yeah. Then you saw a game around 200 runs. And then came this 3rd match, where total had come down to about 137.
That was the first game, I think.
That was the first of the 3 games, and then again it reverted to tie where you saw a high-scoring match at CSK.
Salt fell for first ball duck here. That showed that the luck was on CSK's side. Tushar Deshpande getting you wickets.
Jaddu picked 3. That's our second loss. That was our second loss.
First.
So.
First loss was this, RR was second,
I thought RR was first. We faced RR with 4 on 4.
You lost you lost 2 out of 3 games at home out of your losses. You have been
and
dominant away.
We have won, I think, 3 out of 4 first away stretch.
Correct?
Yes.
Four, yeah.
The only game you've lost away so far was CSK.
CSK, yes. So that's why I would put KKR as one of the favourites to win IPL 2024.
Absolutely.
I had picked them in the top 4. I was the only one in the panel, I think, who picked KKR.
Yeah, I think the only reason it
And Saransh.
I was off panel, but I picked
Could you
KKR.
pick them?
No, we have evidence. Yes, you did.
Yeah, so this team is like looking now very, very dominant. And okay, many people say that okay, Phil Salt will go, but I think they've got that covered with Rahmanullah Gurbaz. Yes, he will play only in the knockout stages, but I think you have to buffer for that. And I think they are one of my favorites to win the title this time around. They can make it 3, and yeah, Gambhir with the Midas touch.
Third one is.
See, now with Gambhir not in LSG, you're seeing how the team is unwinding.
And also, by the way, look at couple of things I have to point out from the post-match comments really that have been made. One is that Shreyas Iyer joking and saying that, listen, last 6 matches in the dressing room, there's been havoc because we have everyone coming up to me asking, Skip, what's happening? We're losing tosses, but we're winning games.
Yes.
And that's the thing. KKR have had rotten luck with tosses in the past few games, but somehow are coming out on top.
Rituraj Gaikwad say, hold my drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 losses out of 11. If the
toss.
If the IPL was based on toss, CSK would be the wooden spoon holders. Comfortable margin. 10 losses out of 11 in the toss here. Oof.
And also look at how it is. See, what most interesting thing from Narine, which I can spot over there, is he's saying that listen, Varun is picking up wickets. It's making my job easier to keep things tight. That is how these two are operational. Because if you look at the wickets column, Varun is ahead clearly, but it's a very much a tandem thing because Narine will come. He'll keep things tight.
he
And
is-
I
Narine
will.
is ahead.
No.
16 wickets for Chakra, 14 is Narine.
I think he's just, being a little magnanimous over there,
16
Sunil Narine.
No, see, but it's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
how
fair.
the
I'm just taking you back to last year. It happens. If there's one bowler that you have at the other end blocking the runs, it means rewards
to
for the
go.
others.
Yeah.
Correct.
Look at GT of last year. No runs of Rashid. Rashid would be all about economy, but who the wicket takers? Then Noor would get wickets. Then it would be Mohammad Shami. Then it would be a Mohit Sharma. Mohit Sharma, Mohammad Shami, by the way, 27, 26 wickets, something like that.
Yeah.
And Rashid was not too far.
23.
Yeah.
Not too far, but he was more about economy or better about economy than the other two.
Correct.
Yep.
This time he didn't get that support, but that's what T20 cricket is. If there's runs that are being blocked on one end, then as batting side you have to be attacking the other, and that's where the ploy works, and that's where it becomes a wicket taking
Because
opportunity.
compare
We have 2 opposition players on record saying that we were trying to play Narine normally because we are not attacking Narine. That happens when you one of the spinners block runs, you go after the other one, taking up wickets.
And that's what, see, look at the figures comparison. Narine, his current figures right now, 14 wickets, which is no mean feat, but 6.61 economy, that is mad. I'm sorry for a spinner. This is the most unforgiving format for spinners to be having 6.61. Yikes. And
That's
then
always been Sunil Narine.
and then
it
look at
is
Varun. He's
the-
going at nearly 9, but 16 wickets.
And he's the most economical spinner out there, if you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, by some distance.
Second,
Yeah.
he's second in the overall list.
Second in the, but he's only second to Jasprit Bumrah.
But another freak.
We will never mind that.
This is where KKR have always been. See, if you look at your title runs in 2012,
12, 14, you always had strong
you had
spinners.
a Piyush Chawla and you had a Sunil Narine.
Yeah.
And occasionally there was one more legend in 2012.
And 14. Shakib Al Hasan.
No, not Shakib.
Rajat Bhatia.
Then you're missing names even there because again, if you're talking about spinners, was KKR considering the slow dry track you'd get at Eden had a buffet of them. You had an Iqbal Abdullah who would dry runs. You had a Suchitra Sen and Naike in 2014. A Piyush Chawla you had in 2014, 2012 and 14. You had a Shakib Al Hasan who I forever maintain is probably one of the most underrated KKR players ever.
Yeah.
Shakib Al Hasan was another one with the ball, with the bat, he'd give you some runs. He was a very good player and a good catcher.
Yeah.
That down fielding was
He used
woeful.
to play regularly along with Narine.
He used to play.
And they both had to 8 overs, no runs and wickets.
And in that time, it used to be Shakib who would play this role because he'd keep one end dry and then they try and attack Narine because it's like, oh, this new guy, he's Champions League T20 star, let's attack him. But my God, then he'd be getting wickets.
They will never be able
He was
to
the
read.
only
Never.
Bengali in the team for close to 4 years.
Yeah.
There's no one else.
So he had Debabrata Das.
But he never played.
He did rarely play.
Rarely played. So that's why for a couple of years the only Bengali you had was across the border, Shakib Al Hasan.
And he's very popular in Calcutta. Of
course.
I would
very
be
popular boy.
surprised if KKR will end up winning their 3rd title because Gambhir is back and things are touchwood clicking out for them.
I would just wanted to win it for Gautam Gambhir. It only will sum up the fact that yes, whatever are his methods, whatever is his vision, whatever is his mindset, it is a big tribute. And Gautam has been one of my favorites because he calls a spade a spade. He doesn't shy away from all of this, and that's why great feat indeed from KKR, and 60% I would put them as one of the contenders for the title.
Now the 3 games remaining are one against
MI that will play at Eden.
RR.
Then you are going across to GT.
Gujarat in
And the
Ahmedabad.
last game,
and then will come
Barsapara. And then you'll fly back to Ahmedabad. Yeah, back and forth.
Rakesh Bhushan, and we'll take some questions now since we've gone on, and I think if we really are allowed to, the euphoria can go on all night.
No dance today, Shane. There were some requests.
This is too comfortable.
No India guys are there in the KKR LSG.
No, I mean there was
right?
Rinku.
No.
But
Rinku is
LSG, so 4 teams don't have any representation.
LSG.
LSG is one,
GT is one,
GT
SRH
is one, KKR are the other,
SRH.
and SRH.
Chennai.
Chennai
has
already
two.
finished.
Jaddu and Dubey.
Dube fell for a pair, and Jaddu was the man of the match in the game against Punjab Kings. So let's take some super chats.
I mean, Rakesh Bhushan took me a second to figure that out, but he's saying Chandrapal's batting is a bonus for KKR. That's a flattering way of comparing him to Narayan, I will admit.
Although Narayan's technique is much better than Ashwin-Narine.
Yeah, I mean, Ashwin-Narine had a unique technique, let's say. That wide open stance, my God.
Crab style.
There's this one, visual that I don't forget from childhood. It was one of the test matches where they'd shown Shivnara and Chandrapal during his debut, and how over the years the stance kept on just changing. But it made for a very good time lapse of sorts.
Below his eyes, those 2 marks, Chandrapal.
And by the way, if you see the way his son bats, Tej is the same. That same wide open stance, and I'm like, what am I watching?
The father and duo batted together, I think.
Yes, in domestic cricket.
Yes, only father-son duo to do it.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget Shiv-Narine for one thing. Bail.
Yeah.
They broken a couple of times, the bail one.
Luckily, you don't run Singh bails. You would have had to release out of
Zing
fortune.
Bails, I don't think you would be allowed to use the Zing Bails
Not
for
a
that purpose.
chance.
No way.
Yeah, so Chandrapal batting is a bonus for KKR. Barring he and Salt, none of the KKR top order are firing with fair regularity. In knockout games, you can't afford to go with your 2 batsmen scoring. KKR needs to worry on this front.
Disagree. I think the problem here is that, and normally what used to happen, I remember a similar problem with SRH. Because their openers used to be like a Warner Bairstow types, they'd always get the chunk of the runs, but then no one else really got a chance to bat. The same is happening here. The only difference being is that in the case of a Warner, he would often slow down. Here, these guys are not needing to slow down because they're getting 40, 50, 60 runs on average. And after that, the rest of the middle order just needs to come in and chip in with quick runs, especially
that's
in
why you're
today's
seeing,
era.
Kabhi Rinku at 3, Kabhi Ankrish at 3,
Kabhi Russell at 4. So it doesn't really matter. I
See,
think if it comes down to it.
If the Indian team wants to have a look at the way how KKR are playing in the power play. This is new age cricket.
The other day against MI, Manish Pandey and Shreyas stepped up. And they, Venkatesh and Manish Pandey stepped up. There was a collapse.
Exactly what KL Rahul also just said. Our bowlers could not cope with the pressure that Narayan was putting on us.
And see, that's the thing with Narayan.
And you will take not just Narayan, I'll add Phil Salt also over there. Phil Salt at a 32 over 14 deliveries today. That's exactly what modern day openers are expected.
Look at what an
You are not
Abhishek Sharma
supposed to last beyond 6 overs. Just be there, play those 2 overs by yourself. Give your team runs at a second about 220, 230. Anything more than that, more the merrier, as they say. Your job is done. Sticking around job, we'll leave that for Test cricket and ODIs.
I mean, the 80 runs that Narayan got, I'd say 50 of those are bonus. Because 30 quick-fire runs is what you expect from your openers.
If your openers are giving you 70, 75 odd runs in 6 overs,
Yeah.
and if both of them fell again around 77 or 80, they have done their job.
Yes.
You are well ahead of the run rate, and now Russell can come, or Rinku can come if you want to keep up the momentum, or Venkatesh and Shreyas can come if they want to anchor and go up to a respectable.
And today, by the way, no one was looking to anchor. Everyone was looking to smack.
And then 235 was there.
Look at what an SRH did. Abhishek and Travis had gave you 125 in 6 overs. Then they kept on pushing and pushing. They got to 266 against Delhi. This is modern day T20I batting. Learn from the likes of Narine, Salt, Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head.
I mean, Narayan was on 70 odd and is still looking for sixes in probably the biggest ground that you're going to be having to play in this IPL.
Yeah.
No botheration that, listen, the second 100 is there for the taking this season. It's a rarity. It doesn't happen that often.
He got out to us hitting a six as well. On
Yeah,
81 he was there.
On 81 he's looking to hit a big shot. Normally, what is our mentality? 80s
Milestones are important,
milestones.
right?
Yes.
80 aa gaye, you join one of those academies that is popular on Twitter.
13 of 9, 14 of 10.
Yeah, but
it
look,
happens.
he went for a big shot, and I didn't regret it because on one hand, you do feel that twinge of disappointment. Okay, he didn't get 100, but on the other hand, you look at he's like giving you 80 runs and a record of 200.
Even I would say a 75 is as good as 100 in T20.
Oh, yeah.
Rather, in fact, even lesser than that.
81 runs.
Even lesser than that. For a reason, when you're talking about batsmanship, you're looking at 30s for a batter, not looking at those many 50s because those are just difficult to achieve. So 30s is what you look at when you're talking about batters. Similarly, you're talking about bowlers. A fifer is as good as a century, by the way. Because 3-fers tell you much more. A 2-fer also tells you much more about bowling at times.
And if you, before I take the next super chat, I'll just say, see, for KKR, as all of us have pointed out, Venkatesh has stepped up. Dreras has stepped up. Iyer has chipped in with vital cameos.
Yes.
Yeah, Shreyas Iyer has chipped in. And if you look at all the others, Angrich,
Ramandeep has had 3 or 4 good cameos. Even Rinku early in the season had a couple of good cameos.
Exactly.
Which then segues to our next question from Rakesh Bhushan only. And he said that post omission from the India squad seems Rinku Singh has lost his way. Hope somebody from the BCCI or team management gets in touch with him and explains the logic behind its exclusion. We have a promising talent. Hope he is nurtured and cared for.
I'll only
absolutely agree. And I think the other day Rohit was also talking to him post press conference when they were met ahead of the match and after the game as well. I think he has been told what were the reasons behind him because he clearly looks disappointed after. And anyone would be. A player like Rinku was always there banging the door of the 11, by the way, of playing 11 now.
Not even the 15.
Not the 15, but playing 11. He might be dissatisfied.
As I said, what wrong did a Rinku Singh do?
Nothing.
Another big mystery that will be there in Indian cricket. What wrong did a Rinku Singh do?
He might still play. I'm still hopeful. Fingers crossed he might still play. He's a travelling reserve. He's there.
One player injury is all you need.
And it should be a batter.
Shami was not
a batter.
Shami was not there in the India 11 in the ODI World Cup because of the combination. Shardul was playing. And you know what happened?
We know what happened. See,
Surya, 2 players came and one of them Shami is the highest wicket taker of.
But then see, we need a batter getting injured. That's how a Rinku
we don't want, first of all, we don't want anyone to get injured, but Rinku.
20 days. You still have 20 days. You can redo the whole squad if you want. If you want. But then after 25th or 27th,
you can also redo the whole squad on the basis of one email.
You will have to take permission of the technical committee. Permission, yes. Rakesh Bhushan, any word on Ashwin making a controversy by taking a dig on Narine bowling?
I think it was
done a video.
Yeah, I've done a video. You can check it out. But I think it was a bit undignified because it's the typical. If you ask me, it's sour grapes, and I'm seeing not just from Ashwin, but I've seen it from people on social media also. Last year he was getting hammered all over the park. No one said a damn thing about his action. Now he's improved, and if you want to talk about cleanliness of his action, every match this season he has bowled in half sleeve t-shirts.
Yeah.
What is the big giveaway that any bowler is who's trying to bend the limit when it comes to the flexing? Full sleeves. Narine has done that in the past. I agree because he was trying to remodel his action. He's remodeled it hundreds of times at this point. If you still have a problem, and that's the thing, what I don't like is then if is Ashwin then calling into competence or calling into question the competence of the umpires? How is it that they played 10 games and not one person has seen it? But apparently he's got some third eye that he can see it and he'll be like, it's against my principles. Oh, go on. If anyone has the guts, bring up that action, try and get him suspended. He's bowling fine. I've seen the pictures, I've seen the videos. 15-degree flex is fine. You are allowed that by the rules. Bending his arm slightly does not make him a chucker.
I'm sorry, I think it's not Ashwin's job to pass a judgment thereon. It's a bad judgment. They will declare someone clear of the or not. Ashwin unnecessarily raking up this.
But that's my problem with Ashwin at times. No, he presumes himself the moral authority of everything cricket. Boss, you keep talking about rules this, rules that when it comes to mankading. No. Then please go ahead, he's within the rules, and if you feel there's a problem, take it up with the authorities. If they have a problem, then and only then. Otherwise, don't take snide pot shots on your YouTube channel. That's not on, it's not cool, and it's not something you should be doing as professionals. You shouldn't.
See, that entire crackdown, I believe, was unfair.
Him, the likes of a Shillingford,
then a Williamson. I mean, Williamson got called for chucking. Okay, that's Ajmal, but with Ajmal,
yeah,
42-degree flex here. That was
Ajmal
way pushing
separate
it.
case
Now, Everybody is sharing images of Narine with that bent action, boss. Firstly, sharing those images is a problem.
First of
because
all,
there is
it's a still,
Yeah.
because then you're looking at frame by frame. You have to see if say for instance, if I'm bowling off spin and if I'm here, sometimes it will straighten. It reaches that point. I'm not bowling it like this. It will straighten at some point. If you're freeze framing it on that one point and sharing that image and circulating it, then that's also a problem because it's out of context.
And if the umpires have not reported it so far, now you will want to believe everything what the authorities say, right? If the umpire has not reported it, then what stops you from not going with the umpire's word? It's not as if he's been fed with lots of money that please don't report my action.
No,
It's-
no.
And it's not even
And
Indian
by
player.
the way, if there is a genuine problem there, he can go report the action if he feels like it. As the
Exactly.
opposition player, you take up so many issues on the ground. You take up a no ball, which doesn't, may not necessarily be a no ball at times. Those issues, wides and all are being contested. If there's a major issue over there, you can take it up.
I
And
would
also
say
take it up with the match referee.
You carry
As
on.
far as authorities are good, Ashwin don't have to, you don't have to do that sitting at home and taking pot shots.
It is, it's
authorities' job to, ensure
It is.
proper and fair game.
I would suggest to Narine, just look at what Muralidharan said. I can't please everyone. I can't please everyone and anybody. And see, firstly, he remodeled his action. Kudos to him. It didn't impact his mental strength because see,
Because he had to
The
remodel it a
number
lot
of times he has remodeled his action. Other players would have
times, if I
taken
would.
retirement or something, given up bowling. I cannot remodel my action.
And
which is why I said it was grossly unfair. That entire, you are taking out something on out. See, a wrist spinner has got a lot of variations. He's got the googly, he's got the top spinner, flipper. For an off spinner, he just has one off break and the other one which is kind of like an arm ball, a straighter one. That's it. By not getting the dusra, you have to do this, you have to have a bit of flex. It's impossible to bowl without a flex.
It's not his fault if in 12 years people are not reading Sunil-Narine. It's been 12 years.
Yeah.
And I think, sorry, and this is just a conspiracy theory on my part, but it comes after Narine took him to the cleaners in one game. So a bit of Saag rapes also. Sorry.
In this case, see, Ashwin,
he was trying to bowl wide to him.
And giving wides.
there are a lot of things which Ashwin says, but I think in this I will have to totally disagree. I can't.
At least in this
Agree with
format
him.
where he's batting better than Ashwin, bowling better than Ashwin.
Much
He should
better.
not be saying this.
Much better. Yeah. Ashish there. Gauti was indeed GOAT. Absolutely. Had he scored 3 more runs in the World Cup 2011 final, he would have been counted in the same books as MS and VK. MS stole the limelight.
Ashish, to those, only one thing I'll say to you. एक ही छक्के ने वर्ल्ड कप नहीं जिताया था.
We heard that the whole of the day.
And see the way how Gambhir got out.
But those who know the game and in nitty-gritties of it, they know what value of 97 is there,
And-
what value of that 75 is there.
And Gambhir did not play for a milestone. You look at the shot that he was playing.
Singh trying to hoik it on the leg side.
Gambhir has won in this modern era for all us people growing up 2 ICC events, and when you look at it in the 11-year drought that you've got, you realize the value of a Gautam
You want a
Gambhir.
player like that, gritty.
And not just India, look at how he revamped Kolkata Knight Riders.
In his image, those winning teams were molded in his image. He would fight with team management saying, listen, I want this player, I don't care.
Yes.
Sunil-Narine, I want Sunil-Narine. Get him however.
And I want him to open.
So he will fight, and that's why I remember the one thing which I was glad about when I heard Gauti rejoining. I said, good, you have someone who can be strong-headed to the top management, because the top management, they're very ruthless, and that's good. But you need to counterbalance that with someone who's well aware of the game. A Chandrakant Pandit, much as I respect him as a coach, is a better coach for the young players, which is why now I think you're seeing balance. The younger players are stepping up because you've got the guidance now of 1 season plus from a Chandu Pandit, who we know is a great developer of talent. He will tough you out, but is it a coincidence that someone like a Venkatesh Iyer start putting in such good performances on the now?
Exactly.
I mean, he had a torrid 22, lest we forget. 22 he was terrible. 23-24 he had a couple of match-winning knocks, and that's
Actually,
huge.
if you come to think of it, I think KKR have the best backroom staff. We're forgetting the name of an Abhishek Nair, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And the fielding
Tendo.
coach. Tender
Yeah,
starter.
yeah,
another
Bowling
KKR
coach.
legend.
Bowling coach, Bharat Arun. You've got a
Arun.
former India coach sitting there.
Also, because we don't know what's happening back room, but the results are on the field. We can see how the top order is performing, middle order is performing, and the bowlers have been there. The mentor is doing his job. I think it's fantastic.
See, it all revolves around clarity, and Gambhir gives you that clarity. And
stability. Not 2-3 failures here and there.
I
doesn't matter. You are there.
remember hearing it from Sunil Narayan, and of course, when that thought came about of having Sunil Narayan bat, I'm talking about 2012. Of course, Gambhir had seen it somewhere, so he wanted to try it out. But he says that Gambhir had given him that security. It was an interview of Sunil Narayan that I was seeing, in which, of course, he talks about his father. Then he talks about how Gambhir had taken a stand for him and given him the surety that you go do your thing. I don't care whether you get me runs or not. You play the way you think is fine, and your spot is going nowhere. Don't think we are dropping you. So that sense of clarity, that sense of security with batters and players
that gives you a 39 ball 81.
And
Exactly.
For me, the greatest image of Gautam Gambhir setting an umbrella field for MS Dhoni in an IPL.
Oh my God, test match field. That was iconic.
For me, that was
not only one season. I think
Every
for
season.
three seasons, 3-4 seasons, or constantly he has said those will. And
Why? Because you had a Sunil Narayan who Dhoni, even in his prime, could never negotiate.
Yes.
His first boundary against Narayan
Edge.
came in 22, and it was an outside edge.
And that's still the only one.
only one boundary. So that's why Goat Gambhir was that.
Yeah, Gauti Gambhir should become Goat Gambhir.
Yes.
Goatam Gambhir.
Goatam indeed. Mr. Shekhar GTN, he is not happy, irrespective of how the World T20 goes. What delights me is that we won't see India batting with only 19 overs, courtesy of KL.
One maiden over, that's his jive.
oh my God, that guy played out maidens versus Bangladesh, England, and then Zimbabwe all out team.
Correct.
And today, that is the reason why you can't have a KL Rahul in the setup. His batting is just not suitable for T20s
At all.
this point in time. So that is why Piyush Nandre, Narine, Pollard, Russell, Warner, Malinga, Warner, AB de Villiers
said
are
Warner
greats of
twice.
IPLs. Yeah, they are major factors behind global success of IPL.
Agreed. I think having these guys come and give that flair along with the Indian talent did help a lot.
Yeah.
Shishir Shetty says that Harshat Rana is the find of the season. Actually, Harshat Rana you saw last year.
He was the find of last season for me because he was
this year find of the season, maybe not. There are other contenders though. Find of the. Do you want to do a quick this thing?
I would say the find of the season.
This season,
Mayank Yadav maybe.
Shashank Singh for me.
Shashank is another.
That
Ashutosh.
incredible auction story and then stepping up.
Shashank.
They might have not won those 2-3
There's
years,
actually
but that
a few
was
names
Shashank.
that come. Abhishek Sharma. He's finally
Abhishek
coming.
Sharma is there,
He's
you know.
been around, but it's Abhishek Sharma 2.0, I would say.
Yeah.
Impact.
Abhishek Sharma,
Nitish Reddy.
Oh, Nitish
Mayank.
Reddy. So, no,
Nitish Reddy.
Mayank Yadav, Nitish Reddy, Shashank, Ashutosh.
Ankush
The only thing is
Raghuvanshi.
Ashutosh doesn't have age on his side.
Yeah.
But even then,
Ankush Raghuvanshi.
Ankush has done well. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Playing number 3.
And he's, by the way,
And one more, Ricky Bhoi.
Five of the still to be found out somewhere.
No.
Asad Usman says, what's your best sporting things that you can't forget till death? All of you. Best. Tough. I mean, best for me, if I have to say, India winning 2011. That was a great moment. That World Cup. Chelsea winning their first Champions League 2012. 2012, by the way, very good sporting year for me because KKR won their first IPL. Few days later, Chelsea won the Champions League. Very good sporting year. Academically, that was a terrible year, but sporting wise, it was really good.
I would say my best sporting thing, I mean, I've been seeing it for about 32 years, but I think Messi finally achieving his
I can't
providence.
believe I forgot that.
Messi achieving total football.
For me, number 1 is 2011 World Cup win. Then it's 2007 World Cup winning a T20 inaugural format. India winning up that, and third is obviously that Argentina winning the World Cup last year.
One more I have, and this is a very me example, but 2008 when Hamilton won his first title. If you've not seen, there's a video of that. I will send it to you. It's crazy. It was
One point difference.
one
Corner difference.
One corner, because when Massa won the race, he was officially the world champion.
Yes.
But then Hamilton overtook, it was Timo Glock.
He was on dry tires.
Yeah, he was on dry tires in the wet. He overtook him, and because he overtook him, he reached a position where he had enough points to win it by 1 point.
One point.
That is for me the greatest finale I've ever seen to any F1 season. So that's another
Abu
special
Dhabi 2020
Abu Dhabi.
right up there.
But if I want to look at
Where's that bat, yeah?
He was stolen. His history repeats.
He was robbed.
That one corner again. One corner comes into play. 2020.
He was robbed.
Obviously,
He was robbed.
Obviously, he.
it's
later
not the
apologized.
first time that an Australian screwed up a British team. Yeah, I know. But
That's
for
not
me-
done, Massey. That's not done.
I think nothing
No, Mikey,
comes
no,
For you?
no.
as an Indian, I would say nothing comes even close to the 2011
Oh,
World
World
Cup.
Cup,
Those
well.
scenes, to be part of those scenes, to see an entire nation come together, celebrate that night
Sachin completing cricket
that
day.
night of wildness, to see Sachin Tendulkar in tears, to hear those words from Virat Kohli, which
crying like a
echoes
child,
still
he
very
was
well. Yuvraj, Virat Kohli, what he said more than a decade back. Again, I think we've all by now rectified what exactly Virat Kohli said.
He has carried the nation for 24 years.
Everything,
Our time to
there's
carry.
nothing that comes close. Even I think Sachin's retirement, I think that day was also a sporting day of the decade, perhaps. It was, again, one of those moments which brought the nation to a complete standstill.
Absolutely. I think there are a lot of them. So, Asad, very good question. But yeah, there's a lot of
Schumacher winning 2000 F1.
Yeah, when he broke Ferrari's 21-year jinx, that was special.
That was special.
Go down.
Rajdas Gupta is saying, guys, Alistair Campbell's son, yes. Jonathan Campbell, debut for Zimbabwe, yes.
Today in Chattogram.
He's a future
Please say
star.
something about him. He
is an upcoming star, yeah. And I hope he takes up after his father, Kumba Campbell, Alistair Kumba Campbell. So
Sridharan S says, Ashwin any day better than Narine, proven test performer, real test of cricket, unlike Narine.
Again, you're mixing formats.
Mixing formats, and how many 5-wicket hauls does he have abroad again? Sorry? Huh? You really want to play this game, Sridharan S?
He is the only picking formats. Again, Ashwin should not be commenting on T20 for that.
And again, that's the thing. That's my point. Yeah, I agree. He's the best test cricketer. Real test of whatever, that's a subjective thing. Appreciate the players for what they are. Ashwin is a great in test cricket. Narine, as far as T20 cricket, will go down as a generational talent. Someone who was a great bowler, transformed into a great all-rounder.
Keeping an economy of 6 in the format that's been brutal for the bowlers.
see, there is one record which can never ever be broken, and that is set by Sunil Narine.
Maiden super over.
Who was that against? It was Puran.
Puran.
Guyana Amazon Warriors versus Trinbago
Knight Riders.
And that time it was Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel.
So
Yeah.
he wants, Siddharth wants people want Gambhir as Indian cricket team coach. BCCI and
FA, that's the English FA.
has so much in common. Both will always appoint a yes man as coach, and we saw Kumble.
Well, I mean, currently Gareth Southgate is the manager, and he's like, I like the guy. He's done
But then
well.
will Gambhir be given a free hand like how
He will not be given. There's too much egos to manage.
Was
Star,
Kumble given a free hand?
no. Star management is something, which is.
So that's it. That answers your question. I don't think it will ever happen.
But I would love to see that if it ever could.
I think we saw Shades of Fate again, Anil Kumble. That episode, I won't be surprised if the same
Ending.
It's exactly if the same thing plays out all
Why not
over
Chandu
again.
Pandit? Again, a hard
There will be
taskmaster.
a lot of
Chandrakant Pandit with this team, he'll kick out half of them.
Exactly.
True. There will be a lot of changes which the particular fan armies will not be.
I mean,
allowed.
I'm sorry if a David Wisa, who's a nobody in the world of international cricket, found Chandrakant Pandit a hard taskmaster, said that he's a militarian types, then our Indian prima donnas, sorry to say, will throw their prams out of the toy on the first day.
Exactly. So it's not happening, folks. So another double header. Can we call it quits, or should we?
We
carry
can.
on
I mean,
with
there's
comments?
2 more weeks of IPL still to come, so we're going to be joining you guys live every day. For now, though, I think these guys want to catch up on some rest. I want to go home and celebrate. Same with Saraj.
Yeah, tomorrow it's a big match. MI-SRH.
Ooh, implications for the top 4, my friend.
One
Implication.
Yes, at the
Wankhede.
day. Yep. And day after tomorrow, Harshit will please show some emotion because it's DC versus RR.
You're still in the race, by the way. You're still in the race.
Congratulations to KKR fans.
He might be on the ground tomorrow. I'm still saying, go support your team. Go on the ground, support your team.
Yeah. Fingers
It's
crossed.
much
Let's
needed.
see. Yep. Okay. So bye bye, folks. Good night. Enjoy.
Shubh Ratri,
Whatever
Shabba
weekend is
Khair,
remaining, yeah.
Nandri, Vanakkam, eat your vegetables and
Don't trouble your mother. Bye bye.